you ready, kids?
Aye, Captain!
I can't hear you! Oh!
Ahoy there, mateys. It's time to set sail on another episode of Unconstitutional Awakening, the podcast. Welcome aboard. I'm your captain, Jim Bob Ovalshorts, and tonight we've got some great stuff planned for you. So wherever you're watching from, whether it be Rumble, Odyssey, Kick, YouTube, or for tonight, for the very first time, Twitter, we welcome you all to the show and welcome you all to all the great things we have involved for this evening. So without further ado, I say let's go ahead and kick it off and bring the rest of the crew I got in here with me this evening. Of course, we've got Luis. How you doing, buddy?
I have no idea what's happening with Twitter, but great.
Oh boy, what's happening with Twitter?
Oh, I don't know. I connected the account to it. It's streaming to Twitter. That'd be cool.
We are streaming to Twitter this week because something that I'm going to get into here, something I'm going to get into here in a moment about Facebook.
I connected my account.
Oh, nice.
I'm looking at it right now.
Beautiful. So we're on double Twitters. All right. On Luis's Twitter and ours. So hi, all of Luis's people, too. So fantastic.
Yeah,
We've also got... No. We've also got Neptune in the mix with us this evening, buddy. Welcome back. We missed you last week. Glad to have you back on. How you doing tonight?
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with Twitter, but apparently we're making spicy meatballs that Mark Zuckerberg don't like.
Oh, man. So that's what I want to jump right into this evening. For those of you that are normally with us over there on Facebook, unfortunately as it is, we all got nuked last Thursday. And when I say we all got nuked, even Luis got nuked, and he's not even part of the Facebook crew that, makes a mess all the friggin' time like we do.
Yeah. They got nuke.
They turbo nuke not only us, but they happened to get my wife, and they happened to get one of my other admin, Terry. They got his wife too. So and from what I've gathered, as well as probably close to 100 other people, because Zuckerberg is just a jerk. And I turned around, as I'd always do, and went ahead and made account 2022, and about 2.5 hours ago, it got nuked again, and it straight up told me that they nuked my other profile, and this is just me trying to get around the nuke, so they're nuking this profile too.
Wait, your current profile that we're using just got destroyed.
So, number 22 has been destroyed, so I'm going to have to go for 23.
So as I recall, Luis, and this may be before that you came on board with us, Jimmy actually had 2 active profiles at one time. One of which he never really used a whole lot. It was kind of like a paperweight.
Yep.
But I have a third paperweight too, and I'm just gonna be like, really? I'm gonna have to use the paperweight? It's literally called John Hancock. Mine's called John Hancock. That's my random account.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, I don't know what the hell's going on over there. Obviously, they hit all of us, and they hit people we no longer associate with. It seems as though they're hitting. By and large, it's not a concentrated thing. It's more strategic, and it's absolutely targeted at individuals that post things that they don't like, and those that are associated with them.
What is the Empire not like?
Bandit and I were having a conversation earlier on our little off chat that we have, and we were discussing how It seems that Zuckerberg has got it in for everybody, Generation X and Millennial, and
I caught
that's
that. Yeah.
that's
He's a
all,
millennial.
all that's gonna be left behind on Facebook is going to be boomers and OnlyFans girls, and you know what? Screw you, Zuck. I tried several times today to tag you on Twitter to tell you to kiss my butt, but you are not taggable on Twitter. So if this message gets back to you, Mark Zuckerberg, that's what I got to say to you.
I almost, in and of itself, I almost thought a blessing in disguise. I talked at some length a while ago about how, there's goods and bads of social media, and
Absolutely.
Facebook, for its part, absolutely brings out the worst in people, and I think
100%.
that, and I won't discount other social media platforms for doing the same. But Facebook, I think, in my opinion, and this is strictly my opinion alone, I think Facebook's the worst. I really do stand on that.
I hope that because of stuff like this and the constant deletion of people left and right and taking all the good memes off of the internet, that Facebook just is slowly putting the nails in its own coffin. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah,
it was a fad that just got caught on really good and everybody got hooked into it, and now it's just kind of burnt out and lonely. And there's so many bots on Facebook that, to me personally, it's to the point where I don't think you can tell the difference between a bot and a person.
Yeah. What was said recently? I caught something. I don't know if it was in our chat or if it was in our side chat. I caught something about they had identified that some Chinese sock puppets had been made.
Yes,
some nonsense like that.
Oh my gosh, I'll read it off. I have it pulled up already. Actually,
I have to. I feel like I'm reaching back 7 years right now. When did I hear this? 7 years ago.
So
that's peculiar.
According to the Associated Press, Washington, someone in China created thousands of fake social media accounts designed to appear to be from Americans and use them to spread polarizing political content in an apparent effort to divide the U.S. ahead of next year's election.
So it's not 2016 Russia Putin doing this. It's now it's now
China.
Winnie the Pooh.
Yes.
So Winnie the Pooh was doing this in 2016 and 2020. And it was cleared actually recently that China actively was pushing certain conspiracy theories in the United States. We were talking about a few. Remember, the 5G is going to kill you. That all came from China.
Yeah,
that was all from China, and that's the power. Remember this when the signal came out, and they said that they were going to turn on the 5G in the broadcast that was nationwide. That was just a simple test of the emergency broadcast system on a nationwide basis with text messages. Yeah. That was not a big deal. And then they made up that the 5G was going to kill you. Turn off your phone, put your phone in a microwave.
I want to put my phone in a microwave. I want to put my phone in the microwave more than people realize, I think, and that's just because
you know how bad the explosion will actually be if you turn on the microwave. The lithium,
give it 100-foot drop cord, drag it out in the yard, and then do it and send it into orbit.
You know why fires are so bad today? Fires are so bad because of this.
Fires are so bad because, as usual, here's my regular public service announcement about this, because all of the refrigerators made from 2021 forward have been made with highly flammable butane gas for the gas inside of it, and for the foam inside of it, a product called cyclopentane, both of which are highly flammable, highly explosive, and you are putting bombs in your house. People, do not buy a new refrigerator, at least if it's a Whirlpool or a Frigidaire, because that is what they are using in them now. Thank you, FDA. Thank you, FDA, for regulations that kill people.
He's an appliance guy. I'll stand.
No, but this is why is this rant not all over the internet? Like, people should advocate for the government to ban such a ridiculous. What is this? More carbon friendly to put explosives in your home?
The EPA regulations say this is safer than the stuff that they use than the R600 they used to use.
You're telling me Butane is safer than Freon. Okay, I think my brain just broke. Because Freon, all that happens is this. Oh, look, the Freon escaped. Oh, wait, let me get a lighter.
Congratulations, you just sent a fucking refrigerator door into orbit.
Oh my! It's just.
Butane.
Sorry, I'm still.
It's
Jimmy, are we
just.
on YouTube tonight?
We are.
I'll try to limit the F bombs that I
Oh, I don't even know. I don't even know if I already said a bad word.
We look. I think we're doing okay. They haven't booted us yet, according to the reading on my end, and we're almost 10 minutes in. So as long as we make it another 5 minutes, we'll get past that grace period that YouTube hates.
Okay, so real thing, yeah. I remember when all of the broadcasters on YouTube that broadcast long form complained. Like everyone complained. Legitimate channels that literally wouldn't trigger it still complained because they just said first of all, they were retroactively doing it.
Yeah.
They were going back in time even though they said they wouldn't do that. But because they don't, so there's a guy from Google that was leaving Google after 18 years, and one of the people that in teams he's talked to said Google Vision doesn't know how Google Vision works.
Facts.
So they don't know how a portion of their systems operate, and it's likely because the people that created these systems, which are extremely complex systems, left. Also, that requires so much hyper specialization to actually get these systems to operate that you need people that know a lot of things just to even understand them. And they're getting so complex, we're eventually not going to be able to fix them. Like, right now, the people that are building all these new systems,
Mm-hmm.
they're eventually not going to be able to work on these systems. Like, the next generation of people are not going to know how to do it as well as people would think they would. They will create new ways of working with it. But the system itself will be self-correcting partially because there are parts of the system we're not going to be able to witness. Because
So the role of application engineer is going away. That's interesting.
Eventually, it's going to get more complex, actually, in some degrees. Some things will be automated, and some things are going to be too complicated. It's like we're raising the bar even further up. And I've met people at a very high level. I mean, if we get higher than that, we're post-human, which is partially what they want too. Transhumanism.
I mean, yeah. That's definitely one of the goals they're on. Like, it seems to be. I've never understood the idea of transhumanism. Like, I'm good. I don't want to be a cyborg. Like, I would totally be willing if you could repair my shoulder.
You're a cyborg.
I would totally be willing if you could repair my shoulder so that I don't have as much of an issue with it as I do from years of dragging refrigerators up and down stairs.
There is a cure. It's not available for normal people. You go get stem cells.
True. Yeah, that's true.
That's a possible option, but you don't have like an easy 20,000. You can just, you know what? I'm going to go to Panama. I'm going to get $20,000 worth of stem cells that come from the the umbilical cords of mothers in Panama.
I mean,
it's a strange way to get it, but that's the only way you get it. You get it from humans. That's why it's expensive. What's the source chemical? Humans.
So, you know what I mean? It's stuff like that doesn't actually surprise me, nor does it, like, put any, like, shock value on anything to me. Because, like, I've kind of understood that that's what they've been doing with that. You know what I mean?
It's not unethical at all. It's just you literally have to get a part of a human body, which is the umbilical cord, extract the stem cells, then they do a small process to filter out certain things, and that's what they inject in you, and the results have been interesting. The people with spinal cord injuries have been healed. I mean, we can heal almost anything now. It's just about money, bro.
Yep,
that's where it is. About money.
That's where it is.
You've heard of athletes getting ACL injuries. They're not out.
Yeah.
Now they can go back. Remember when ACL meant the end of your career?
Correct, I do.
We are now post-ACL injury. I don't know enough about ACL injuries, but we just not post? All right. You see, Mark Zuckerberg broke his ACL. He's going to be back on the mat like in a few months. He's the perfect example. guy worth $100 billion could buy multiple tech companies. He actually has a medical company.
It's a drop in the bucket to him.
True.
Oh yeah, it's like I just bought the hospital I'm in. I like the service. Like he literally could just do that. He could just buy the hospital he's in at the moment. Like he can get the paperwork done when he.
That's like Batman money right there. You know,
He's
you've got
richer than Batman.
I'm just saying, you get
okay. As of today, yeah, he is.
Then why? Then here's this question: if you got all these billionaires with this ridiculous amount of money and shit, why do we not have a fucking Batman running around?
They're all scared shitless. Maybe the technology's better. Well, like remember, Batman's technology is way beyond what's actually available in this world. Even if you look back, there's technologies in the story that are way out of hand. They're not realistic.
Not so much on Batman's end, though. Batman's more tied to humanity than in any other hero that's there.
9.2 billion is Bruce Wayne's net worth. He's literally a nobody in that billionaire. Like Trump at one point had more money than Bruce Wayne. Like at one point, not now. But
what was the argument about financial capital and gain of the DC and Marvel Universe billionaires? It all comes down to military applications.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Because I forgot the other guy is also and guess what? Like,
Tony Stark, Iron Man gets.
Tony Stark is essentially a proxy of Elon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Because Elon, the Starlink company, turned into a military company. Did you guys see that? Starlink was sold to the military.
I mean, he was already doing government contracts as it was left and right, so that's where he gets most of his money from. He's a welfare.
Yeah, I mean, he got a fucking 20 million. He got like
exactly.
a 20. He got a $20 million grant just to send a fucking rocket to the moon.
Like
with the people send a fucking car into outer space.
That's one of those arguments that I get pretty passionate about.
That's trolling. He did troll a lot with that car.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'll give him props.
Yes,
it was a good idea to throw. I have nothing to put on it. Might as well put a car. That's literally what the problem was. They needed to put something in it, so they put a car.
Proof of concept or not, that's it does have some basis in reality that the richest billionaires are going to exploit the military-industrial complex to get what they want and get even richer in the process.
Absolutely.
But look at Twitter. That's what they used to do. They used to allow the government was allowed to modify the frequency of expression inside of the system.
Yeah,
they were caught doing it.
100%. Well, but you've got people, you've got like your Elon, you've got like your Jeff Bezos, you've even got your Mark Zuckerbergs that all have these gigantic welfare tit that they're sucking off of from the government.
All right. So here's a great question though. This is going to be a leading question a little bit.
Right.
Though. Do they have separate goals or do they have the same goal? Because
profit.
Yeah,
profit.
It's all profit. But
that's it. It's not that complicated.
Yeah, but there's an underlying science to this. Why are we still allowed to exist in certain social spaces, but not a particular one? Specifically, Facebook. All right, Jimmy. So go ahead. And I know that you wanted to jump off right here.
We said something, right? Yeah. We don't know what we said right, though. That would be the fun part.
That would be the fun part. What the hell was exactly said that made them so Operation Butthurt that they just
because Casey was drawing 60 million people's attention with stupid memes.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
No. Wait. Was the page taken down?
Yes,
yeah,
because every one of our admins got nuked, so none of our pages are there. All of our Facebook pages are gone. Defeat the Media, Captain Conspiracy, and the Freedom Pirates,
and Bandit made the spiciest memes.
Unconstitutional Awakening, the podcast, is gone already. And then, but here is the kicker. Here's the one that I cannot wrap my head around. Somehow, my meme page released the list about Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein's client list is somehow still there, and there's not another Facebook account tagged to it.
Hey, so
try to get the other ones.
Yeah.
You can get access to some of these things. Don't
Yeah.
worry. So try to, because there's followers, there's people that can take over the account. So I'll show you later. You can take over the system. There's no admins left. There's ways to
Nope.
take over. You should go.
There's no
That's what I'm saying,
admins left at all.
To get over it. There's ways to. If the accounts are the pages still there?
Captain Conspiracy's gone. Defeat the Media is gone. All of them are gone except Release the List. The irony of them having Release the List left on there is something beyond comprehension.
But my question is, so what did we literally say? We literally did something.
I have another comment to make about this because there is layers to this shit. Okay? Because there is another page that did not get nuked when it absolutely should have been, but it still exists right now. If you can get on Facebook, Commando Rolf's tractor posting, that shit post ass anti-ATF page that I made. Jimmy, you remember when I made that page?
I do.
It's still there.
Okay,
and,
holy crap!
My buddy that co-admin that page with me, because I made sure that it is. It's active. I mean, granted, it's kind of semi-active. It's not actively active. I didn't post a lot. I haven't been very active on social media for my own purposes in quite a while, right? I mean, I'll post a thing every now and then.
Sure.
But it's not been a normal thing for me to post on a normal basis here in the last probably 9-10 months, give or take. And but somehow that page survived, and Commando is in the name. So, like, if it was going to be a red flag based on what got us kicked off Facebook 3 years ago, it was right there in front of their faces, yet it still exists. So I don't really understand the science of all this. I really don't. It doesn't make any sense.
It since the FBI created Facebook to begin with, they're just sick of our shit.
Yeah.
No, but okay. Let's be serious. I could take
legal action. Got butt hurt.
Okay, so I think we have a genuine case, Jim. I've told you this before, because it was a systematic attack. It showcases enough, because it's like, what you said, 100 people potentially were hit. So that's enough people to. That's enough people to bring an actual case to Facebook. You can't just take them to small claims court and say, this is the list of the 100 users that were disabled, and there's no explanation.
And let me put a kicker in there. Let me put a kicker in there to you. Jim Bob Oval Shorts isn't my government name, so they are not going to accept it. They are going to tell me that it doesn't matter. I used a fake name, and they can delete me if I wanted to because I used a fake name. I have looked into this a million times, dude. With 22 accounts, believe me, I have looked into this, and every lawyer will tell you the same thing. You have no traction.
I'll fall on the sword. Jimmy, we've been down this road before, and I've never used a fake name on any of my fucking Facebook pages. I don't give a fuck. They want to come after me, they can kiss my ass.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
if there is a precedent to be had here, at least
I just want to know what the hell were we doing?
They haven't told me for 22 accounts.
No, but this is the thing. So currently, I believe in Texas. If we were residents of Texas, they couldn't have done this to us, and they needed to give us an explanation. And I think if it's for illegal speech, they have to reinstate the accounts.
There is no such thing as freedom of speech, First Amendment rights on Facebook. That is actually something that is 100% proven, and you can look this up. That it does not matter. It is a private company, and it can silence the speech that it wants to.
But at least give us the reason.
I bet my bottom dollar they just got a rolling list of names, and they're just trying to add
mine's in there.
Names of people that they don't want on
for years.
But why? But why did we trigger? How did we trigger it so quickly? We needed to be bigger before. We need to get more attention before they nuke you on already media. It's like nope, no, you're not.
Defeat the Media had almost 50,000 followers. Dude, we had Captain up to 18,000 followers.
I am afraid for those people that are there, and they're gonna get nuked. I told other people we know, I'm not gonna say their names, and I'm afraid that I told them to be careful because they get nuked.
My
They're going to lose a lot. They depend on this stuff.
My wife
live
lost
on
her.
this.
My wife lost her business accounts.
Wait. So Peachy is gone?
Gone.
But
dude, I'm telling you, there's a legit lawsuit.
So
when
there's
all these things are in play.
Let me read to you what an actual lawyer has said about this, and I'll read this out loud because this is 100% true.
But I've got to piggyback off this. Go ahead, Jimmy. I got something else to.
If you are suing because they banned or temporarily disabled your account, it is certain that you will lose, and it might be ordered to pay Facebook's attorney fees. You can sue them for the limited, the amount or whatever. Anyone can file a suit against them, but the odds of actually winning against Facebook are impossible. If your account was deleted because of what you posted, the First Amendment freedom of speech clause does not apply to Facebook. It only prohibits the government from interfering with your right to free speech. Defenses for Facebook: each user has agreed to the following provisions in the terms of service. Suspending, disabling account if we determine in our discretion that you have clearly, seriously, or repeatedly breached our terms or policies, including in particular the community standards, we may suspend or permanently disable your access to Facebook or other Meta company products, and we may permanently disable or delete your account. We may also disable or delete your account if you repeatedly infringe on other people's intellectual property rights.
Go back to the very first line of that. Our discretion.
That is my point right there. Our discretion. That's why I say that a lawsuit is a waste of our time.
But
it's to get the knowledge of, because it's not that hard to file. It's to get the knowledge of what they did. It would be interesting to know why.
It would be interesting to know why.
You've never sued them though.
22 accounts, no data, no reason.
You've never sued them though.
22 accounts, no data, no reason. Not even a message back when I've asked, what have I done?
Yeah, there's a lot to that, and I don't want to go into Uncle Ted territory again tonight with this. Thanks, Jimmy. I knew you were knew where I was going with this. Honestly, for my part, it may have been a blessing in disguise for me, and you know what?
Me too.
It's almost a reality check for some people. Like, it doesn't matter what you do. Like, you can do absolutely nothing and still, get on the wrong side of the law.
There's some people out there
crucify your ass for it. Right.
There's some people out there that like this one guy I know, Dollar General Geronimo. He totally is extremely racist and hateful towards white people. And
you're talking about U.S. Atlanta Braves John Rocker?
Wait, how bad is this guy? Damn, it sounds terrible.
That's an inside joke, Louis.
He how bad is this guy? He defended Whoopi Goldberg when she was on TV saying that racist shit about everybody. This dude's whiter than me, but because he has Cherokee in him or some crap, he claims he's an Indian. What I like to call it is a $5 Indian. Back in the day when you just had to pay $5 so that you could get on the registry to be an Indian.
It was only $5.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits people don't understand depending on the class.
There's a whole lot going on with all of this. But honestly, I'm going to take it that it's a blessing in disguise, honestly.
Yes.
At least for me. Like,
sure.
As far as Facebook goes, like,
it's dead.
I don't, even dead or not, I don't really have a reason to be there.
Me either, other than all the people that like to laugh at my memes.
Like,
but I can do that on Twitter.
I've made and
I guess that's it. That's the last direction in the new platforms.
Right. So
sorry,
I have a piece to say on this topic, and I think I'm going to leave it alone after this. I've made genuine connections with many people over Facebook for several years, and I think that I've made and yes, Jimmy and Luis, even though you were through Jimmy, absolutely you as well. I think I've made, for my part, I've made the connections that I need to make in my personal life. That, it's not a loss to me to not be there anymore. And there's a question of being connected through social media as a long term thing. Obviously, it has its advantages, and obviously we're here right now. We're having this conversation, right?
Yeah.
But Facebook, for its part, and likewise other platforms that they can restrict how people communicate as they see fit.
Yep.
They want to play a game of they live, I
Yep.
suppose.
Well,
it's immaterial to me. It's not a great concern.
Well, I only have one thing to say about it before we move on to the next subject of the evening, and that is
the Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race.
What happened now? What new technology has come up?
Jimmy, I hate you and I love you for that, and I absolutely need that audio bite in my life.
10-4 out. Make sure it gets sent to you.
I need that. Fucking hell.
So,
man.
but I mean, to jump subjects real quick, I really want to jump subjects real quick. Did you guys happen to see what Tucker posted about what that dude from the Biden administration said?
No, I'm sorry, I'm out of the loop. Let's see.
All right, well, you're gonna love this. So one day last week, actually, I think it was like Thursday or Friday of last week, Tucker Carlson posted, the Biden administration is openly threatening Americans over Ukraine. In a classified briefing in the House yesterday, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, I believe, informed members that they don't, if they don't appropriate more money for Zelensky, we'll send your uncles, cousins, and sons to fight Russia. Pay the oil arcs or we'll kill your kids.
Man, I wish Bandit was here right now.
I do too. I do too, because I know he has a strong opinion on this.
Yes, he does.
I mean, they're gonna if it's to the level they're saying, they might bring people over 40 out of retirement.
Well, we talked about that. We talked about that last week about how so many people have already been sent letters.
From 35. It was 35. So now it's 40.
It's 35.
Wait, shit. Does that mean
So there's a couple layers to this.
I just realized I can be drafted.
Holy hell! I really wish Bandit was here to help me with some of this stuff, because I'm a little out of the loop.
That's a good point.
So a few things to unpack here. First of all, you've got your individual reserve, your IRR. That's your people that have just separated, and they can be recalled back to active service. Beyond that, you have the draft, which is, as far as I understand, unless that has been changed, is still capped at 35 years of age. As of today, unless that has been changed, which, again, I don't know that to be true.
I know that there was talks about raising it. I'm not sure if they've already done it. Is what I was saying.
Indeed, and
because it could happen. First thing is they'll do that, and the next is that they're going to. They just said that they're thinking about opening it up to more migrants.
The plan would have to be IRR first, and then I don't know if you actually saw this. Bandit shared this in our private chat that Jimmy, and I have, where we talked about just really off-color topics. We were discussing a few things that were related to them undoing the restrictions related to COVID-19. And boy, if I didn't fucking call that, because that was a whole thing where
What it could it have been that? Could we have been banned for that? We talked about that before.
there was a there at okay. So at the time,
We spoke about that when it came
so
out.
about a year and it was about 3 months ago, give or take. They kicked out. I don't know the number, but they ejected from they separated.
I think 34,000 people, or if I
It was not an insignificant number of active duty service members.
Oh yeah, well Carson got the axe because he refused to cooperate.
I gotcha. Now here's the thing, and this is the part that I really wish Bandit was here for right now, is the fact that Bandit and I knew that was not going to hold, and now we're in a position that they're now asking to get those people who had been separated forcibly for refusing the vaccine to come back, right? So you've got your IRR.
I found a few numbers. It's like in one it was 3,400, and in another one was 8,000.
Yeah, and I don't think you're going to get an official number from that because
the 34,000 is the nurses and doctors that quit in the state of New York.
Right, and I don't think you're
34,000.
So, and I don't think you're going to get the official number for that for a number of reasons. And Deers is, for their part, despite all the other bad shit that I have to say about the United States military, is Deers is very protective of service members. So you're not likely going to get that.
So I can piss you off even more real quick. Are you ready? The draft age extension that was rushed to Congress for debates for the age of military service in 2023. They are attempting to make all men from ages 18 to 64 eligible for the draft. And a fun fact, during World War I, they raised the draft age to 45.
Oh yeah, we're doing Soviet level shit right now. Here we go. All right.
Dude, 69? Right. What the hell is any 69-year-old gonna do?
Conscription age for the Soviet Union during World War II was raised to 64. Yeah, okay. All right. So here we go. Here comes the fun shit, because I don't even get through half of it.
When you're in the battlefield, when you're in the trenches, remember, when your friend dies, you have to go get their gun. So when they die, there's not many guns left or ammo. So you go to your friend, you grab the gun from his corpse, and you continue to fire and hope to survive. All you are left with was a knife.
I was not in a living series. I was not a Marine. I was not infantry. I was a POG as far as that's concerned. I don't have a whole lot to say here, but if you throw bodies at a problem, you're not fixing a problem. Okay, but having said all that, to back up for a moment, they'll go IRR. They'll try to pull back everybody that just got out if they're going to do that. And then, yes,
how fast is Bandit going back in?
They try to do some medical shit. Yeah.
I'm just seeing Bandit
they try to
back.
do some They try to do some janky shit on men that got medically retired out of the service.
Listen,
it's going to be a bad time.
Yeah,
I swear to God,
I feel bad.
Fucking day.
I feel bad for the recruiter that shows up to Bandit's house and attempts this. I feel so bad for that man.
That's going to be a bad conversation.
I hope to God he records it. It's going to be a beautiful piece of art.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid, the alert sound for real. Right? I heard that one.
I wish I could say certain things, but yes, they're going to have an interesting experience when they get to his house.
Yeah. All right, so regardless, let's get back to real shop talk for a moment.
Yes, sir.
Here's how that's going to go down. It's going to go IRR first. That's going to be everybody that just separated.
Could you explain what's IRR? The
That
acronym, what does it stand for?
All right. So after you get out of the service, you either, based on your contract terms, you've either got a 2 or 4 year period of time that you're still indemnified to the United States military, where
You're
you
still a
can be
slave of
called.
the state.
Yeah, because all right, so you can either get a 2x6, you can get a 4x4, you can get a 6x2, or you can do an 8-year agreement. 8-year agreements were not really a thing back when I had enlisted to join the U.S. Navy. But regardless of all that, you've either got those terms, right? And during those periods of time where you are considered IRR, you have that period of time where you can be called back to active service. So if you did 4 years active duty, you're still on inactive service for 4 years, where you can be called back at any point in time, right? And so the real challenge here is they will do that first. And that's not to say that everybody that's in right now, some shit pops off, everybody's getting stop lost, which is everybody's leave is getting terminated like right just now. Right? And that's a womp womp for real.
Isn't the drawdown? So we currently have a huge recruitment deficit. Right? What's
we
the
are in a
recruitment deficit?
we are in a serious recruitment deficit. There's several facets to that. There are fitness requirements that are considered
That we don't make.
that
A deficit of 27,000 in the Air Force alone.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're lowering. Okay, August 21st.
So they have to
They're
lower
lowering the requirement standards again.
Please don't make me go into McNamara's 100,000 right now. I don't want to do that.
What's that?
That's exactly where we're going.
Give me a summary of what
I'll give you the very baseline summary because it's absolutely fucking disgusting.
The recruitment deficit of 27,000 and recruiting an additional one of 4,000.
Their retention rates in the U.S. military and recruitment is at the lowest that it's been since the Vietnam War. That being said, me making that comparison to McNamara's morons so. During the Vietnam War, the very short and skinny of this is there was a petition to lower both fitness and psychological standards to meet recruitment goals. They were literally throwing bodies at the problem, which is where they're going right now. Luis, if you were talking, you were on mute, but.
No. What I was going to say is
It's
we're here,
it's disgusting.
If we're here, that means that reality is going to really come to everybody.
History is fucking repeating itself.
100%. It rhymes, right? It rhymes. History rhymes. I forgot who said mystery rhymes, but yeah, history rhymes.
Yeah. So the order of operations here is going to be stop loss everybody that's currently in, period. And then it's going to be recalling everybody that was already on active service back to active duty.
Well, they're going to raise the budget potentially to multi-trillions.
But the reality
is
that they would have to. That's the only thing that drives the war.
Our country's basically going to turn and went to one gigantic military-industrial complex again. Now,
yeah, we're going back we're going back to 1941, December 12th. Seriously.
Oh my God! Really? It was December 12th, 1940.
That was the day after Congress approved FDR's speech to Congress.
That commie, don't get me started.
December 12th was the day that FDR had officially gotten approval from Congress, and that's when the official war economy had begun.
Oh my God!
Oh, holy shit! That was just yesterday. What the fuck's going on right now?
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Did you just notice that? Or I thought you were saying
I just noticed that just now.
I just
weren't aware of my fucking computer.
You were not aware what you were saying. That's hilarious.
No, I was not aware of that at all. Jesus fucking Christ.
It was 82 years ago.
That was
Exactly.
82 years ago. Yeah.
That's scary.
We're right on it. We're right on time for a cycle.
That's terrifying. Man.
I told people recently that Guyana, Venezuela is the breaker. It's the trigger point. That's it. That has to be the trigger point. I don't know. If South America goes into war, Africa's at war, Europe's at war, Asia's at war. World War II, World War I, it was multiple conflicts simultaneously happening.
Yes.
All at once.
There was a lot of stuff
indirectly
breaking down all
connected.
at once. And no, it's not
parts of
going to
World
be.
War I were not connected, but parts of World War I were connected, and parts of World War II weren't connected, and parts of World War II were connected.
Yes.
It's weird. Like, you have to follow the entire map, and once you read the whole map, you hear that Brazilians were partying in Madagascar. But, yeah, the war was going on, and Brazilians were just having fun in Madagascar. Evidently, it was a fun time.
Well, there's so many facets to what drives a world war, and
I want to follow the Brazilians.
You know what? I tell you what, we have to time this now. We're gonna have to make a bet. If whatever decrepit ass president is in office at the time this whole shit pops off, that
Whatever 80-year-old, literally
yeah,
80-year-old, they're both 80.
Uh,
Tell me.
whoever. All right, so we're gonna have to make a bet on that in the side chat.
Yes.
Whether it's our current incumbent or his successor, or
I say neither, because I say, here's my prediction. Are you ready? We're gonna get a ridiculous false flag cyber attack that stops the 2024 elections.
And it's going to be Obama for president then? Can you imagine Obama comes back? Oh, God.
Thanks, Obama.
no, it'll be fucking Al Gore if anything.
Oh my God, he's super serious, you guys. Man, bear pig.
Hey, never forget the fact that everybody who warned everyone about climate change suddenly bought up a fucking shit ton of beachfront property in Florida right before
Speaking of, just completely off the wall things, did either of you catch the gay furry hackers breaching nuclear labs and why they did it?
Yes, and I sent that story in the chat. And I remember saying, "Well, it's funny."
So they hacked into this thing.
It shows how bad the system, the Los Alamos system. It was Los Alamos, right? They literally hacked the core.
Yeah, but apparently essentially, the group is asking the nuclear lab to research. Legit asking the nuclear lab how to research how to genetically engineer anime-style female cat human hybrids.
Because we're there, guys. We have geniuses.
So we've got
their time and breaking into government systems for sexual things.
The Industrial Revolution and its consequences.
Actually, that's accurate. He looked at the fairies and he literally read that news. That's the day he would have gone. That's the day. That's the day he left. Actually, what was the news that day that made him go? Oof.
Oh my God!
What just drove him up a wall? He just heard fairies just hacked the nuclear labs.
Turbo Weave 6969 says, "How do I make cat girls for real?"
Oh my God! Well, I don't know, bud, but we can figure it out. Somebody wants to figure it out, apparently. I just, this absolutely has to do with Jupiter entering into Powerade, because that happens today. You know what I'm saying?
Jupiter entering into Powerade.
Yeah. The time when all the girls get all crazy and stuff because Jupiter's in Powerade right now. Like that's a regular thing, right?
Yeah, Powerade. And what about Gatorade? I can't remember. Gatorade.
No. Uranus isn't in Gatorade right now. It's Jupiter and Powerade.
Okay, so who's in G Fuel?
Neptune.
I guess I'm in Kool-Aid. I don't know. I got nothing.
You're in Kool-Aid.
Oh my god! It's just,
I don't
I
fucking
mean,
know, man.
listen, there is not an amount of conspiracy theories out there that
No,
top
fucking true.
the reality we live in. Let's be real. Whether it be Walt frozen underneath Epcot
Yo,
or
wait! You guys saw the ad where Walt Disney wakes up from the cryostasis, right?
I'm gonna share that link with this episode since I have so much trouble sharing videos on the live. Because I'd love to show it to everybody, but I'll make sure that I share it with the episode 100%.
The Walt Disney link. It's weird.
This weird.
So it was an ad.
Yeah, it's super weird. It's an ad that talks about the unfreezing of Walt Disney and how everybody's gathering.
Event.
Yeah, a global event that everybody's gathering for and tuning into and paying attention to the return of Walt Disney. And
who would spend the amount of money it took to make that ad? Because I looked at it, and trust me, that was actual work.
It wasn't AI. That was actual work. Yes.
That was, they built a set. They put an actor there.
Yes.
Like, this cost minimum $50,000.
Absolutely.
It looks like a $50,000 production minimum. And that's just like a low ball. So if this was people trolling, they're spending on ads. Like,
right?
That's so much money.
Right.
No matter how you do it, it's so much money.
You know, trolling or not, why the hell if you know
it's so weird. It's a really expensive troll.
It's an expensive troll, but it also gives some basis to the fact that why are we spending this much to troll people with artificial intelligence, knowing artificial intelligence's capabilities?
But that is a deep question, Neptune. I like that. That is a deep question.
I mean,
you know, you remember 2 weeks before my shit got broke, I mentioned that, let's train an AI with a bunch of deep millennial humor. Like let's give it old Greg some Russian dash cam videos and all that shit.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Yeah, that.
Exactly. Feed it stuff like that, bro. Just feed it stuff like that.
Like,
well, that's possible. What do you want to do it?
How do we get Skynet to actually become Skynet?
It has to deal. It has to deal with pictures of goats.
Yes, you're an accelerationist.
Maybe.
I didn't say I was an
accelerationist. Okay, so with OpenAI, there's a few. There's the accelerationist, and then there's different terms. But essentially, there's groups that want to accelerate everything, pedal to the metal, go as fast as we can. Okay, and then there's people that are more conservative in these tech spaces that are like, let's be calm, let's not go so fast, because if we go too fast, we're going to literally drive straight into the wall of Skynet. So the other people are like, no, let's build this. It doesn't matter. Stop thinking about the limits. We're going to figure it out as we go.
And to that point, I want to, Jimmy, if I may, I want to have you pull up that art piece of that robot that was built solely for the purpose of trying to save its own hydraulic fluid when it didn't need it in the first place.
The art piece.
Yeah.
Yes, because it is the most disgusting piece of art that has ever been built, because they made it with the thought in mind that it never needed that hydraulic fluid in the first place, because it was driven by an electric motor. It was never going to die without it. And yet they gave it a task that it was expected to do and knew that it was its only method of self-preservation. That is a testament to how garbage humanity is.
It's simple. The thing is, the logic of the program is not that high. Trust me, that machine was not feeling anything.
The robot arm piece right here?
It wasn't feeling. No.
Yeah,
but it was programmed to do a task that it never needed to do in the first place.
Yes, there was a comedian I was seeing today talking about, like, a robot would just go and jump into a pool if it knew that it would just be repeating the same task over and over again as a human being.
That's not insane. That's not insane. That is not insanity.
It brings me back to the thought of that Rick and Morty episode when he's like, "What is my purpose?" And he's like, "You bring me butter." And he's like, "What?" And he has like a complete breakdown because he realizes his entire purpose is to just serve butter to Rick.
That thing was given a task subservient to humans, and it carried out that task knowing that it was never needing to do that thing to survive in the first place.
When do you think we're going to be able to have technology that is so advanced that already the low price tech is borderline self-aware? Not a toaster, but like
the minute the toaster starts making noise, I'm shooting it. I'm just letting you know. No Transformers in my house.
The minute a toaster becomes self-aware, I'm hooking a 9-volt car battery to a 9-volt battery to a damn to a pocket radio.
Let's go, bro.
Yeah, I'm making a fucking pocket EMP. I don't give a shit. No. Human thought experiments are disgusting.
Yeah, I have it on my ears. Thank you. But it should come out of one channel though, so it's like doom 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 doom. So you feel it's like, oh, it's coming from one side. We're part of the house.
Oh my Lord! So, but I mean, but this like all of the crazy and stuff. Like I think this is a lot because once again, for the past week and a half, I've been seeing the good old Mandela effect popping back up and people bringing back up Shazam, and like I think I've talked about it a little bit once or twice on here and stuff. And it's
your story.
My story is
You want to say your story? Your story is insane.
All right, so I was the same year that it came out, Mighty Ducks 2 came out. And I was a kid and I lived in Buffalo, New York with my grandmother at the time. And usually in the afternoons after school, we were out on the front porch or out in the front yard playing, doing our thing. But that day, Grams had brought home Shazam and Mighty Ducks 2. And in the process of watching Shazam with Sinbad, a drunk driver come down our road, hit my grandmother's parked car, flung it up into the air, and it landed on our front porch. And I was watching the movie Shazam. That is a traumatic life event tied to that movie, and you cannot change my mind.
Is this the Mandela effect thing? I heard something about this recently. I never saw it. So
back in 2008 at Dragon Con here in Atlanta, a lady started going around asking people had they ever heard of this movie, and then turns around and like tries to tell everybody that this movie doesn't exist. And not only do they try to claim that this movie doesn't exist, but there's a bunch of things in that movie, like rebranded things that are today rebranded a different way, from like Kit Kat bars and Reese's cups, or like a good example is like my brain just farted. Is the what's the other good one that come from that movie that was me and Casey were talking about it the other night. Like there's just so many different Mandela effects that actually just come not only just from that movie, but just a bunch of other things in general. And you know, there's a bunch of different theories, whether it be there's a like a super collider somewhere that's fracturing realities, to us all being from different realities, to
I mean, what if so that's the thing.
To the government just trying to rewrite things.
So there's different methodologies to it, right?
Yeah.
But the main one is this. What if history is constantly changing?
It is.
No. Like it's always been this way.
You mean like
it's always been like this.
I mean, like, it really has.
And we didn't realize until we had multi-decade history that we can all refer back to. It's like an awakening of the experience. So
sure.
You speak to any, like this is the simplest one, Fruit of the Loom.
That's the one I was trying to think of.
States, nobody questions it. Yeah, I how the cornucopia. That's how I know how the cornucopia is. And
Oh,
I'm
we
like,
got a
that's
picture.
how I know how the cornucopia is. I remember an ad in a mall. So I had direct interaction with that logo.
Yeah.
Like the logo, the size of my face, like it was in my face.
Yeah.
So I have distinct memories of seeing that logo and
My-
learning what a cornucopia was.
My favorite is the other day, Bandit shared
You
with
can't
us.
take that away from my head. Like
Bandit shared a picture with us where Fruit of the Loom was on Twitter gaslighting people, saying that it never existed, and then somebody replied with a picture of a 20-plus-year-old shirt that actually had the cornucopia on it.
it was self-photoshopped, probably.
Maybe,
They were saying
but
it was Photoshop. I have clothing from that time. I'm sure I'm not going to find it. That's just Photoshop.
I mean, dude, we can't deny that there's a bunch of rednecks out here running around with 25-plus-year-old white tees.
Oh, dude, I have clothing from when I was younger.
I have clothing
I'm
from when
sure
I was in high school still, bro, and that's been all
Trying to
20
find
years
the
ago.
cornucopia. I know it's in it. I know it's in it. But look, if it's gone, and it just means that it's
We shifted
possible-
realities.
It's possible it's constantly happening. There literally might be even a frequency to it.
You know, if they wouldn't have shot Harambe, none of this shit would be happening right now.
Right? Imagine it's all Harambe. Like, that's why that became it was Harambe. What was it?
Yeah.
It was basically
I still remember the days of when McChickens were $1.
That's right.
And music and TV didn't necessarily suck, and Epic Mealtime was doing unhinged nonsense on YouTube, and Black Ops 2 was still really fun.
Carl!
Oh, you mean
And
you mean like 4 years ago? You're speaking. This nostalgia is like now getting to such proportions. You mean 4 years ago? Like what?
Yeah, I'm
4 or 5 years
I
ago.
mean, Llamas with Hats is definitely peak YouTube. But yeah,
Neptune,
it was like Harambe died and it all went to shit.
Dude, Neptune, since you were military, you're probably familiar with action figure therapy too, aren't you? From the early 2000s.
I am.
Yeah, I have
a few other things from back then too.
So I don't know that show, but
dude, I will send you some clips of some of the best action figure therapies that there is. My favorite is the story of Stanley the Honey Badger.
I mean, I grew up in Puerto Rico, so obviously
it's okay. It's okay. It was military guys. Action figure therapy. And the best one that you need to listen to start it off is the story of Stanley the Honey Badger.
Why have I've seen the figures.
Yeah.
I've never seen the story. I thought they were G.I. Joes, dude.
I mean, kind of, but it's so demented.
Jungle Rincon. Okay, wait. Let me hear it.
Dude, I want you. It's a long one, but I want you to listen to Stanley the Honey Badger from Action Figure Therapy.
I've seen. Okay, so this is some guy. Okay, I might have seen it before, like a random clip.
The story of the story of Stanley the Honey Badger is, I'm sending it to you in the private chat right now, is just it's a little long, but it will have you crying. It's so funny. Like it is ridiculous. And I know Neptune's probably heard all of them too. Like I used to be all into that because I never officially signed up because I was a little bit smarter than that from my perspective, but all of my friends were there and I was their guy on the outside, and Neptune will tell you that's probably the most important role that there is for the guy on the outside, is being the guy on the outside for all of his homies in the military. I used to hang out by the base in Columbus so much that even people in charge and stuff knew my name.
Yeah.
So what were you always perfectly equipped?
Dude, I was the wheels. Do you know how many times I had to help sneak people back into the backside of the base so they didn't get caught? More times than I will admit.
Well, the cameras at the base, no.
Maybe. Unless you're a little bit quicker than them. We're talking. I'm talking 2004, 2005.
Oh yeah, no. The surveillance today compared to surveillance yesterday is a joke. Like today, we can see every inch of your esophagus moving inside of your body. Level of espionage and surveillance we have achieved.
Well, no, there's radar in planes that can tell me the pack of cigarettes in my glove compartment. Like, I understand that. Like it. But yet, the bank camera trying to tell you who robbed it is so fuzzy that you can't see what the hell's going on. Like, it's so ridiculous.
You'd think banks had 8K cameras by now.
So
like I'm curious though that they should all have 8K cameras.
Okay, so I'm not going to totally excuse this, but I feel kind of invested to talk on this topic a little bit just because I kind of understand what's going on. All right, so hear me out. Just bear with me on this.
Yeah.
So, those CCTV cameras are all connected through your plain old telephone lines, POTS lines.
Yep.
That's what we had growing up. We grew up on dial-up and hardwired telephone lines. Pick up the phone. Somebody else pick up the phone if you got two phone lines in the house and that whole thing. All right. Bandwidth on those things are for shit. But POTS lines, for what they're called, plain old telephone system, are inherently more reliable than, high-speed internet connections. So every time you see one of those CCTV camera photos, it looks like it was taken on a potato, which is still objectively funny.
You mean an iPhone?
Or an iPhone, yes. It's not necessarily a fault of the company. It's a fault of what they're using.
Yeah.
There are better solutions out there, but and this I feel like we could have a whole separate conversation like for hours about this because I've worked in IT for so long. I kind of understand this. Is recording in HD is extremely expensive. And then to even save it on the cloud is even more expensive than that, right? It requires a substantial amount of bandwidth to do those things. And you're having to segue off serious parts of your own company's assigned amount of bandwidth.
It's cheap for a bank, though. It's cheap for a bank.
It's cheaper. Like, POTS lines suck. Agreed. POTS lines should have been gone years ago. But they do have a advantage that they're copper lines. They're in the ground. They're connected to the electrical telephone poles, and no one can ever take that away from them. And because of that, they're natively more reliable than anything you're going to get before or after them. But that's also their drawback is that while they are more reliable, they can't give you the quality that that high speed internet can give you. So I feel like I had to address that, especially because
they can push now two. They can push 2 gigabytes per second on
2 gigabits to the home. Yes, 2 gigabits to the home. Yes,
that's still fast.
That's still very fast. Yes,
and it's actually way faster. That's just a delivery speed. They can go faster. I spoke to one of the guys years ago. They were able to do 2 gigabits if they wanted to.
Absolutely. And we have talked about this a little bit, Luis. We can do 10 gigabits plus at the at the head end. It's just a matter of can we get the equipment to support it, and is the end user willing to pay for it? Two big questions.
So there's actually a hard limit on speed. So
there is a hard. there's
Give
a
or
hard.
take,
There's
it's
a hard.
like 1 or 2 gigs. Like after that, like there's nothing you can't do for now. I mean, you could drive
For now,
if
yes, but
you
it's
could drive an advanced vehicle autonomously with a high level of instruction with a cloud instructor, and it would be fine. It would be
wait. Are
just
you talking
signal.
about the? There's a hard limit on what gets to the end user. Or are you talking
That
about what the provider can offer?
so it's what the system's going to be able to support extremely high speeds because they want to control machines remotely. They've said this like a billion times.
Yes.
This is the reason they're actually pushing 5G mainly, is because they can control machines better.
Yeah, there's obviously there are limitations to what Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 5 were ever capable of. Obviously, 2.4 and 5 gigahertz technologies.
Wi-Fi 6 and 7 is like, actually, if people don't know, Wi-Fi 6 was like a revolution in the technology.
It
It actually made Wi-Fi, like, get a Wi-Fi 6 router compared to any other router. So the simple answer is Wi-Fi's are 2 lanes.
It's a
2 big lanes.
It is 2 lanes.
And Wi-Fi 6 is like 100 lanes.
It is 2 lanes. So Wi-Fi 6's abilities go far and beyond what Wi-Fi 5 and what 2.4 could ever accomplish.
That's why I can make a video of our movements throughout the house from the signal.
Right, but okay, so I'm probably getting a little bit off topic here. You have to have your physical infrastructure to even get your Wi-Fi in the first place, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have your physical bandwidth, you're never going to get your wireless, and that's what everybody wants. No one uses hardwired anymore. I mean, 10 years ago, everybody was like, "Yeah, I still want to be hardwired." No, today, 2023, we don't want to be hardwired anymore. Everybody wants to be on wireless. We have a long way to go to be able to catch up with that. There's a lot of steps that I feel like are missing to be able to catch up with the technology that is required. And honestly, as far as where we've come and as far as like securities technologies are concerned, the reason a lot of them I feel still use like 20-year-old technology, 30-year-old technology to use security cameras is the technology itself. It's not keeping up. Like we're so far away from where we need to be, like to deliver, adequate like fiber to the premises. That's the real thing, right? Like FTTP, that's what it's called. Like until we can get there, we can't do anything. Like HFC, hybrid fiber over coax. That's been the industry standard for the last 15 years.
Wait, what was that sound?
Probably one of my kids. Sorry.
Oh, you go.
Well,
HFC, hybrid fiber over coax, has been the industry standard since broadband came about. And we're still nowhere close to moving past that. Like, we've made substantial strides, yes, but that deserves its own episode. Just talking about all of the larger implications of the Connect America Fund to get away people from 56K and internet subscribers.
They've spent like $12 billion on that, and they've never done the project. Like Verizon took $4 billion from the government and didn't do anything.
Yeah, right. CAF funding is a serious fuck up. Jimmy, we're going to need a separate episode just to talk about this.
No, absolutely. But, since we're on the subject of expensive things, Luis brought something to my attention earlier this week that I wanted to bring to the attention of the rest of the world because I think it is absolutely redonkulous. And what is that, you may ask? Apparently in New York City, they're trying to get you folks to pay starting at $1,500 to get a pistol license.
Leave. Just leave. I don't have.
By the way, this was after seeing a car ad in person. So I saw a real
as
ad
much as
in the real world
much as
of a car I passed by, and then I got the ad, which I found that hilarious. They weren't connected. I don't think it was the same company.
as
But
much
I
as
saw
I
the
talk,
physical company, and then my phone knew, like, because we passed by the phone. I mean, I literally did pass by his phone, and the phone's a beacon. I'm dead serious, by the way. I'm not joking. Your phone's a beacon.
Yeah, absolutely.
as much as I talk about 2A, I don't have anything else to say. Just leave.
Just leave.
Just
Just
fucking
leave, bro.
I don't.
Just leave New
You know,
York, yes,
I normally have constructive arguments for shit like this. No, I don't have anything for that. I got nothing. No, just like no.
Yeah,
Just leave.
I mean, yeah, Luis, as we've said before, you need to totally escape from New York, bro. Like that's just whew.
And this is on the heels of the day that dude in Brooklyn got ventilated after he shot into a car. New York PD cop shows up, and then they ventilated him on the side of the sidewalk. I'll have to find the video for you, Luis. That was before I got kicked off, but yeah, no, that's
New York is a special type of place.
New York is lost.
Yeah.
We should just write that one off, to be real with you. Like, I love you,
Well,
Luis, but
you know how I know? The finance people are leaving. That's it.
When the rich people start leaving, that's probably a good sign.
When the rich people are leaving, it's all over, folks. It's an end game, baby.
Yep.
The show is over.
You're in the end game now. Thanos steps not far behind.
I just contemplate, can they fix Miami? Because Miami's got something, but can they fix it?
So if I mean, I honestly think Florida's a beautiful place, and I have a lot.
Fort Lauderdale is also a city that's blowing up.
I have a lot of personal investment.
As a lot of people will hear me say, I love Florida weather, not so much Florida people, because most of them aren't even Florida people. They're from out of state. They're transfers. And that's why I have ended up in the space of Georgia that I have, because I get to enjoy my Florida weather and get to enjoy actual local people.
Yeah.
Are there less people also around? You would say, at least your area, there's less.
Oh, dude, where I'm at now, the population of this town is under well under 10,000. It's under 5,000 if I'm not mistaken. So
you can see some people some places, but there's places you'll see nobody for like a mile.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Dude, I am out here in it now, and now that Neptune found where I'm at now, like I'm in the heart of it. But as soon as you leave, there's nothing in any direction you go for 30 minutes or so.
Even Savannah's, I mean, even on the outskirts of it, I mean, Savannah downtown where I'm at, yeah, there's people, but you drive 20 minutes out, and
you know what I find fascinating? People
for miles.
People don't fathom the scale of this planet.
Correct.
You know why? Because you get on an airplane. You get on a train. You lose the perception of distance. You completely lose it. I mean, it's just the fact of life. You completely lose the perception of distance. I just wonder how disproportionate it truly is. Have somebody been able to calculate how people's perception of distance is? We suck at big numbers. That's for sure. We legitimately suck at big numbers.
Let me show you a picture that kind of explains how big things are, but at the same time, like, you know, I don't know if people can wrap their head around this.
We need to get a short URL. Unconstitutional Awakening is too long.
So here in the state of Georgia, we have this really cool thing up in North Georgia called Lookout Mountain. And from the top of Lookout Mountain, you can see across 7 states.
Yeah. Yep. I've been there before.
It's a beautiful walk, great hike, totally cool thing to do. If you ever get the opportunity to do, I totally recommend it. But like, it was used during the Civil War as a lookout post, and they could see opposing troops coming from any direction in 7 states. It's pretty amazing. Like, and I mean, yeah, people don't really fathom how large things are, and like I'm the guy who's always like, nah, overpopulation is a myth, and that's because I live and work in areas where I don't see anybody, I don't see traffic, I can go miles up the road and not pass anyone. Where's all the people? They're up in Atlanta, sure, Atlanta's packed to the gill, but way down here in the sticks, nah, we ain't got nobody out here, bro. Weird, I know. But I did have another random subject, and this is again, I am upset with Bandit because he's not here tonight, and these are things that he brought to my attention this week. Did you guys totally see the $3,000 JPEG image of a pizza that 11 people have in their cart?
Sorry, run that by me again.
Not the one you show it. Yeah, not the one with the 9 people in the car. I saw one person in the car. So the problem is when they shared this, they didn't share the link. So
yeah, I am sad that they didn't see the link. It's an Etsy. It's an Etsy. Dude, I bet I can find it.
Yeah, but can you? Because if you really think about it,
okay. The second photo. I mean, if it's really going to go like
somebody could have faked this whole thing. And
I'm gonna type it up.
All right.
I'm gonna type it up.
Okay, I'm still going to.
I'm just telling you, it's so easy to fake. I'm going
to insult it further and say that is a Domino's pizza.
It totally is.
That is a Domino's pizza. Put that in fucking 10 eye. I guarantee you that's going to show up fucking Domino's or Papa John's or Pizza Hut.
Oh, yeah, we definitely need to use... oh, yeah, Tesla recalled 2 million cars.
Why are they blowing up?
Okay.
Why are they blowing up?
Self-driving issues.
All right, I'm going to sound like a Zoomer.
A mechanical update.
I'm really going to sound like a Zoomer right now, but L plus ratio, don't care, didn't ask. Sorry, Tesla. I couldn't give a shit less if Elon Musk is... Yeah, that whole thing just...
Their stock is not down after they have a 2 million car recall. I applaud whoever is manipulating that thing. They're really good at it.
Right. Oh, darn. That page is totally gone. I went and looked for it.
All right. Is there a way from... Jimmy, is there a way from here that I can zoom?
Wayback Machine.
I want to get back to the photo.
Right.
Jimmy, can you pull it up again? I want to see if I can. I want to see if I can do something real quick.
Sure thing. I'm just gonna pull up a raw image of the photo for you because you want to look at that Domino's pizza, don't you?
Yes, I do.
All right, so hang on. Check this out.
I want to see if I'm right. I have to
open the link.
No, well, I actually just brought up just the big, huge image, and I'm gonna zoom into it so he can do it.
Yeah. I just have to do it just for my own peace of mind.
You ready?
Yep. Send it.
Right there.
All right. Can you right click on that by chance?
No, because this is.
Can you zoom in any further than that?
Nope. That's all it'll do for me.
All right. Move
Control plus. Control plus. No.
All right, move your cursor.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's
zoom back in. Okay, cool. All right, perfect. Yep, just leave it right there. I got what I need.
You got what you need?
Yep. Stand by.
Standing by.
All right.
Hold on.
That's definitely a Domino's pizza. As someone who's worked at
I'm glad I'm not the only one that saw
it. The bubbling is identical.
As someone who has managed multiple Domino's pizzas, yeah, that's definitely a Domino's pizza. In fact, as pretty as that is, that might be one of mine.
So the machine, how many do you think you've...
All right, 10i doesn't come up with anything, but still, I'm 99% convinced that's a fucking Domino's pizza.
Okay, I mean, it could have been AI generated.
It could have.
Yeah, you just say Domino's pizza, then it's going to come out like that.
But it's not the first time we've seen interesting sales of expensive things, like whether it be pizza, whether it be...
Yeah, remember Wayfair?
Yep, I was just getting to that. Yep, and the ridiculous...
There was beds for $13,000. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is the reality, right? look into this a bit, human trafficking is actually way more prominent, way bigger than people can ever imagine, and it's really disturbing. And it's
Yes.
really
we
dark.
gotta get
and
out.
It's,
We gotta get Outsider back on here for that one.
Oh yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
It's a real. It's a real terrible thing, and it's only gotten worse.
My TikTok got Turbo Yeet too, so I
Oh.
don't even have a way to keep up with him
Mine's
anymore. I'm sad to
thankfully
say.
mine's still there. I was just talking to him a couple days ago. I got to get him back over here. I think he'd have a good time with us on a live.
Yep. The
So-
only thing that survived all this was my Instagram, and I'm
Nice.
sure that's going to probably get Turbo Yeet.
Yeah, mine
Nice,
too.
nice.
So I think my X account will be the last thing.
I still don't have one to this day.
Well, you should get one before there's no way to contact you because your signal, your cell phone, your everything. But
Hey, I gave you access to the UA
Everybody
the
has
podcast
a
one.
personal number that needs to have my personal number, and beyond that, there is no concern. So
True. I can see that. I can see
yeah,
that.
no, I still meant to do that, but yeah, things kind of got away from me, Jimmy. I got your message though. I am gonna be playing around with that because
Yeah, you go right ahead, man. And
I caught Bandit's message that I should try to get myself into the weeds of all that is Twitter, even if I'm not responding.
it's an interesting place.
Yeah.
I'll say that. And, we're over there live tonight, not only on our channel, the Unconstitutional Awakening, the podcast channel, but also on Luis's channel. So that's pretty awesome. So again, Hi, everybody over there doing that kind of thing. Thanks for watching us on Twitter. And thanks for watching us wherever you're watching us. And even if you're just listening to the restream of us or checking us on the replay at BitChute, totally, we appreciate it, you guys, man. It's super awesome that we have all this love and support that we do. In fact, I was just checking. We apparently right now, even though Restream doesn't tell me, but Rumble just told me I've got 42 people watching right now just on Rumble alone. So right on. And welcome everybody. Appreciate it. We're getting close to some of the good fun stuff for this evening. As you guys know, I like to bring you a weekly conspiracy theory that I totally want you guys to go dig into. And this week's one that I want you to dig into is Project Starlight, which was apparently an early NASA project or, under the guise of something else, right after the Roswell alien crash, where they dismantled the UFO and tried to get as much technology from it as they possibly could. Weirdly enough, this conspiracy also leads into the one about the Vietnam optics that caused weird demonic visions, because during Project Starlight, when you're reading into some of this stuff, they had an alien's eye and they wanted to recreate the alien's eye, and that's where the idea of the optic came from for a gun. And their first attempt at it was apparently super weird, and the colors they used almost worked like the aura glasses that totally made me famous on TikTok that I talk about over there. The goggles where you could see things that They Live was based off of and whatnot. But it's called the Starlight Project. I recommend you not using Google or Bing to look for it, because they're just going to give you nonsense. Find yourself a good other place to look for some stuff on it, and it's pretty interesting. All the weird things that they claim that they got from it, and all of the technology that magically started appearing sort of after this conspiracy began to take place.
The correct answer is store without the H.
Yeah, 100%. So, and then of course, I know the past few weeks, you guys, that we've been playing a really terrible game of Pirates Against Humanity, our own version of Cards Against Humanity. And this week, I figured we'd try up something a little bit different, because, I like to keep it fresh and keep it interesting and see what you guys would totally be into digging for. So I wanted to play a live version of Would You Rather with you fellas. And I totally have been digging around for the past 2 days trying to find some of the best questions that I could possibly find. And, in hopes that there would be other people here tonight, but it's no big deal. With it just being you two, I think we can get some good, answers out of these ridiculous questions that I have found. So my first thing I want to, though, I do want to warn you, the questions are going to get a little bit worse as we continue to carry on, because that I can't just keep it weird. So I'm going to make the first one kind of not that bad, and we'll go from there. So, would you rather eat a live worm or be locked in the room with a tarantula and not know where the tarantula is?
Tarantula. Because I'm not afraid.
What type of worm? Depends on the worm.
Depends on the worm. Are you going to eat the bugs, Luis?
You've already everybody's eaten the bugs.
I mean,
but no, I will work to always have the traditional options that were good for humans for the past few thousand years. The bugs, there's some I've tried. The grasshoppers with guacamole. It's like spicy. It's hilarious.
I've actually had like the chocolate covered ants in my lifetime. Like that's.
I'm sure it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not.
It's just people. It's just look. This is the reality. It's just people making fun of it. But sure, replacing cows and pigs
is not plausible.
And chickens with insect protein, it's not going to fly with people.
Right?
Which is something they're actively doing for real. But
yes,
it's not going to fly that much. The reason is, they changed the name of grasshoppers to the scientific name so that you can't identify it. They don't write grasshoppers. They write the scientific name, which is... What's the scientific name for grasshoppers in food?
Oh, you guys are not going to like me after these next few. I'm going to let you get your scientific name out. I've already got our next question pulled up. Nothing. Huh?
Wait, where is it? Where's the next question? No, I was looking at the word.
That was poignant. That was the perfect one to use for that.
I was looking up the word.
I know.
We were talking about just.
What word? The grasshopper word? The scientific word for grasshopper?
Mm-hmm. The scientific term. That's what I'm looking for.
Did you find it?
But no, I'm getting close.
Okay.
There's the article talking about it.
Well, that's fine. I will jump on to the next question. So, would you rather give up oral sex or sweet, delicious cheese?
Oral sex. I'm just yeah, I'm saying that right now.
Honestly, cheese is not that good for you, so.
Why not?
I will sacrifice cheese.
Not American processed cheese. I think if more people made their own homemade cheese, it's a lot better for you than you would think.
Still, it's not that good for you. It's like saying, would you give up wine? I'm like,
wine's
not that important.
I disagree because this is right along the same lines of food.
I'm keeping my calcium and I'm keeping my flavor.
Not even the calcium.
Fuck all that shit. I'm dying on that hill.
I'm not even getting into the calcium basis of it. I'm getting into the basis of it of foods that we have survived off of for thousands of years until they started making processed garbage that we've been eating for the past 100 years. Like original homemade cheese and the fermentation processes and molding processes are great for your gut health.
Yeah, I'm keeping my vitamin K. Thanks.
Vitamin K, vitamin T3, magnesium. Take your probiotics. Get fiber. Nobody gets enough fiber in their diet. Take electrolytes when you try to get a headache, or like put salt in your mouth and like when you're getting headaches. That's sometimes helps. Not always, but sometimes. I mean, just getting the proper vitamins cost money. Yes, but it's worth it.
So would you rather wear the same dirty boxers for a month or a stranger's dirty thong for 2 weeks?
I mean, that's
option
kind of
A, I guess. Jesus Christ.
Who the hell
Neither of those are good options.
You can just literally go into it's dirty in the sense that you could put it in the washer, but you could likely take a shower with them and then wash it that way.
Yeah. I'm keeping my own.
It'll stay clean.
So you're going to keep your own. You're not wearing a stranger's thong.
Yep.
But why would I? Like that's kind of like a.
I mean, that's something Will Smith would do, isn't it? That's what the rumor is going on now. Old dude caught Dwayne up behind him, right? You never heard that yet? Yeah.
Oh God.
Will
So you're
Smith's
telling me Will Smith really legitimately was wearing
Will Smith's assistant during the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air apparently found him bent over the couch getting railed by his co-star Dwayne during that time. So much so that Will Smith has cut ties with this guy now.
I mean,
I don't get it. So this came out now?
Yep.
So why? Why now? Why hasn't it come out? I mean, there's lots of actors that are.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not,
their personal sexuality.
Yeah, no, to each their own. Yeah, exactly. I don't care about it. It's just been the thing that's been hot in the fucking news this week, I guess.
Oh, I didn't even hear about it.
Oh,
So
I'll send you the whole interview. It was a podcast. It's interesting. That's to say the least.
I mean, all these celebrities that are gay. I'll give you a few: Matthew McConaughey, obvious. Tom Cruise,
yeah,
obvious. There's what's another big one? Vin Diesel. There's lots of that guy.
He's so short in real life. Me and him are almost the same height. It's so great.
He's just musclehead. He's literally a weird musclehead.
He's all well. Okay, so back in 2008, 2009, I ran a Zaxby's in Covington, Georgia. I was the general manager, and there was not only the filming of Halloween 2 going on, but the filming of Fast 5 was going on also right in that general vicinity, and I kept feeding the cast of Halloween 2 from Zaxby's, and my roommate and close buddy Tony, who was the general manager of Moe's, kept feeding the Fast crew. And both crew teams ended up doing an awesome meet and greet with movie stars and everything at our restaurants afterwards because we spent so much time feeding them. And everybody showed up for the Fast 5 one except for Dwayne the Bitch Johnson, because in real life he's a piece of shit and not the guy that he portrays himself to be. And I could take him because he has a glass jaw.
I mean, he still trains hard.
I don't.
But
He has a
train hard.
He has a glass
How
jaw.
Glass? What do you think he has a glass jaw though?
Because I used to live next door to his personal assistant, and she has given me so many stories about how much of a bitch he is in real life.
But he used to wrestle.
So, I used to wrestle.
Dwayne Johnson. Yeah.
I used to wrestle in Deep South Wrestling. 2005.
What have you not done?
Very little. I haven't been to the moon yet, and I didn't go to the military. Officially.
You know, Jim Bob, you sometimes make me realize that I'm speaking to Homer Simpson to a degree.
Maybe.
You're just not working in a nuclear reactor, but look at Homer Simpson. Homer Simpson is the guy that did everything.
I mean,
was considered considered normal by society.
I've lived quite the exciting life, you know. And there was something else actually, and I don't want to get too much off subject because I got like 3 more questions to ask you guys because I do like this that's going on. It's pretty fun. But since we did bring up Zaxby's all of a sudden, I wanted to take a moment real quick and kind of get a little heartfelt here. This past week, I lost a very near dear friend of mine that I made back there at Zaxby's. He was outdoor dashing last Saturday night and got hit by a drunk driver. He's about a year younger than me. He's actually even been on the show. He came on the show with us one night, episode 131, if you'd like to go back and check it out. And we talked about his life when he was in prison and stuff and how much he's turned his life around since then. Unfortunately, he left us this week. And the funeral's totally on my birthday. And I just know me and all the homies from Zaxby's are getting back together Friday and going to send him off with honors. So, you know, and I will share with the link here. His family has made a GoFundMe to try and get some stuff helped out because he was the only one here in Georgia. The rest of his family is all in Louisiana. That's where he was born and raised originally. So he didn't come here till 2005. One of the best dudes in the world, man. And his name was Ike Thomas. And you can totally look up the story and stuff like that. I'll make sure I share links with it. It was devastating to me, and it was sad because I knew I had him on the show before and totally had intentions of bringing him back one day. So, you know, salute to you out there, man. We all miss you. Lots of us do. So, but to hop back real quick, because I don't want to be sad for long. I got your next. Would you rather get a text from a one-night stand that says I'm pregnant or I have an incurable STD?
First one. I'm taking that one. I'll deal with that. Also, I may have jumped on the gun on that one because that might have happened before. So, yeah.
All right. Fair.
I say that with no hesitation. So, it is what it is.
Luis?
So it depends because it depends who the person is at the end.
Okay.
But mainly, I would say if the STD is not something that bad, most of the time it's curable, even if it's uncurable the female version or uncurable the male and female version.
All right.
And also
That's
like how 20% of the population has herpes, so people don't figure that out.
Would you rather walk in on your grandparents having sex or have your grandparents walk in on you having sex?
They can walk in.
I'm taking option 3. Unfortunately, I was raised by my grandparents, so I'm just fucking falling on the sword right here. You know where I'm going with this, so
Trauma Island.
Yeah. Sadly, I don't know what to do.
Thank you for the trauma.
Yeah.
You're so welcome.
Yeah. I don't know what to do.
That's so nice, Jimmy. You just gave him PTSD. That's so beautiful of you.
I don't know what to do with that one. Honestly. Yeah. That's sadly being raised by your grandparents is like Christ.
You broke him.
Oh man.
Why did you break him?
I was right here for that one.
I didn't mean to break him, but I can't believe I just broke him.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's good stuff.
So, would you rather every time you orgasm shout "I love you, Mom" or shout "Long live the Queen"?
Well, that's easy. Just scream "Long live the Queen." It's
Long
so vague. Yeah, it's so vague. That's too easy.
Fair. You'll take that one. And of course, I'm going to give you guys one more, just because why not? I've enjoyed this. So, would you rather accidentally have explosive diarrhea on your partner during sex, or be the one who gets pooped on?
For legal reasons, I am not answering that question.
Also,
it sounds so disgusting. Either one is terrible.
Aww.
So I'm not answering. No.
Aww.
That can be used against me in the weird people cults.
Yes, I'm seconding.
I am refraining from answering the question.
Yeah.
Well, then that means that I have to ask another question if that's how it's going to be.
Yeah, ask another question, but I've refrained from even responding to that question.
I just answered the most volatile question before that, so yeah.
This is the thing when people's in that happens, the answer is I refuse to answer that question. Just so unnecessary.
Yeah,
it's of no importance.
I would gladly fall on the sword for the last question because that just
that kind of happened already.
Yeah, it's just like no.
2 for 1 special.
You were not going to beat me at that one.
You had a 2 for 1 special. You got both simultaneously.
You could try, but you'd be wrong. So, best of luck.
All right. Well, then fair enough. So, would you rather have sex with someone dressed as a Pokemon or doing an impression of Dr. Phil?
Dr. Phil impression. I probably could do a Dr. Phil impression if I had tried long enough.
I mean, you're imitating a human being. It just sounds better to a degree, unless you're imitating some bizarro Pokemon. Either way, people's kids do whatever you want.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
Listen, furries are cool people. Furries are cool people, and they're pretty much Pokemon.
They hack into government projects, so I'm all for it. I want all of the furries to come together and take down the government. I want the furries to take down the government because there's no better line in the history book that the furries took down the U.S. government.
And there is somehow also out there, and I don't know how.
History one.
There's a kill team of furries that is actively targeting pedophiles.
Good.
I'm here for it.
That's right.
Oh,
I like that.
So are the furries going to save the day?
Yeah.
Can you imagine the furry save today? Like, we're at that level of insanity.
Listen, my first experience with furries was Dragon Con 2015. I didn't realize that there was a giant.
What's the percentage of them that use the suits on?
Okay, so there's on Saturday night of Dragon Con in every hotel there's a party. At the Hyatt, there's the Playboy Bunny party. At the there's one that I go to. It's over in the Sheraton, and it's just like a superhero party. But in the basement of the Marriott is the furry party, and I stumbled in there one night, and that was the best party I've ever been to, bro. Like, nobody was having sex, but it was just a great party. Like, just great people, cool ass folks. Who cared that they all looked like Pokemon? Like, I had the time of my life, and so I will always defend furries after going to that party because it was just so much fun.
Because they're all wearing masks.
Some of them were, some of them weren't. It's just genuine people, like they're actually being raw and genuine at that point in time.
No, that's so okay. So people may not understand. Wearing these costumes is like becoming anonymous, becoming the avatar of yourself. In real life.
Absolutely.
So when you play Fortnite and you
becoming the Jim Bob Oval Shorts in real life.
Oh yeah, you're not a real person. Like, this person I'm seeing is a fabrication. Like, I am a fabrication. I am not a real person. I am a character. You are a character.
Absolutely.
And so, I mean, Neptune's such a character. He's literally said, "We're gonna make a move next time." So
yeah,
he's gonna
totally
look cooler.
Yeah, he's gonna look even cooler. 100%. I'm down for this.
Yeah, let's do this after the call. Let's actually get that done. It can be done in literally 5 minutes. I know we're already over time.
We are going a little bit over time, and so I would like to turn over to the segment of the show where I go around the table and see if there's anything that you guys like to put out there for the end of the evening. You got anything for me tonight there, Luis?
Take your vitamins. Take your minerals.
Take your vitamins.
And know that Jim Bob's viral audio that's been all over the internet about fluoride. Fluoride has been declared toxic, and they're going to remove it. Look into it if you haven't yet. There's cases. They're going to remove eventually fluoride out of the water in the United States because it's obviously neurotoxic, and it should be removed from the water supply.
Oh yeah, dude. There was a whole case a couple of years ago in Europe dealing with it that I remember.
This is filtered. I haven't drank tap water since 2018.
Yeah, I don't drink tap water either. Don't feel bad. Like it's not my style either.
It's possible. So. It's possible also not to drink tap water. I just don't drink. I barely drink alcohol. I don't drink soda. I don't drink. So that imagine that entire budget of like wasteful drinks. I just drink water.
Neptune, you got anything for me tonight?
No, I don't think so. You can play your Uncle Ted bit again if you feel so inclined. But
you mean
the Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race.
The fact that you somehow found a dub of that over California Dreaming is beautiful, by the way.
You know, sometimes you just got to dig around to find the good stuff, man.
You just got to see the visual of that clip. Like, the video is hilarious.
So of course, you guys, if you've been paying attention at all, you see I keep things rolling across the bottom of the screen. Mostly it's been our friends in Liberty. You guys make sure you get over to Unconstitutional Awakening to give them a check out. Peachy Key Creations has moved to Instagram for right now until she can get her stuff figured out. So that link is dead. I will try to update it as soon as I can. That has to do with the Facebook purge because, fuck you, Zuck, period. Make sure you get over there and check out Kirk Elliott, Ammo Can, Classical Learner, and Homeschools Connected, as well as Pure Pet Wellness. Those are all great people trying to do great things to offer an alternative to the status quo of things that are going on today. Because, look at what people think are top notch, and I'll tell you, it's not. You know what I mean? Like, just because it's got a corporate logo on it doesn't mean it's the best option out there. Like, that. Fight me. Like, 100% fight me. But of course, you guys know, aside from that, y'all make sure y'all hop over to unconstitutionalawakening.com. And we thank all of you guys that are out there watching, listening, carrying on and continuing to let us carry on. Thank you for joining us for our very first time tonight on Twitter. We're totally, or X or whatever it's called now. We're totally going to probably keep doing this for a while on there, I guess, until they boot me from there too, because I never know where I'm getting booted from or when I'm getting booted. It just happens completely unexpectedly. Of course, you guys know I've got to leave you with something good and funny to laugh at the end of the night. And I'm always looking for something that's just completely off the wall. But what do you call a gender-neutral person that is lactose intolerant? Non-bi-dairy. You guys have a fantastic evening, and we will see you next week.